Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and you're listening to another commentary video for League of Legends, this one featuring Sivir. This is once again a 5v5 custom practice game. I'm playing on a team along with Cole, who's playing as Ryze, with Ashe, who's playing as Nunu, with Uberfish, who's playing as Cho'Gath, and with Atlas, who's playing as Vladimir. Atlas uses the League of Legends username Bertrand Dehorn. We're playing against Roland, who's playing as Nasus, Termith, playing as Annie, Mostly Harmless, playing as Morgana, Bristols, who's playing as Ashe, and Sirun, who's playing as Dr. Mundo. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on Sivir, and specifically the laning matchup of Sivir versus Ashe, which is how things tended to work out. So I'm going to be focusing on that. I have to apologize, for some reason the sound did not record when I did this video. I don't know why the sound didn't record. I have no idea why it didn't work this time, but for whatever reason it didn't, and so you're just going to have to live with my commentary as best I can. So I apologize for that. Sivir and Ashe are probably two of the most common ranged carries. They're both attack damage champions. They're very common. You will see them both all the time. They are very inexpensive to buy in the store. They're some of the cheapest in terms of buying with influence points, so you'll see them frequently in lower level games, and both of them are also very viable right up to the highest tier players, people who play at a very, very high level. So these are good champions to learn. They're both relatively simple. You can learn to play Sivir or Ashe very easily. They're easy to pick up, and you don't have to worry about learning a champion that's not going to be viable later on. It's also probably unlikely that they're going to be changed too much more with patching. I mean, Ashe has been left relatively unchanged for a very long time now. So anyway, I'm going to focus on this matchup. I am going to be in the middle lane, and I'm going to be playing against Bristols, who's playing as Ashe. And that is going to be a difficult matchup for me for a number of reasons that I'll get into in a minute. As far as running through Sivir's skills, which I'll do relatively quickly here, Sivir has a passive that gives her additional dodge chance. She has, I think she starts out with 10% dodge chance, and that goes up as she increases in level up to 25%. So if you have dodge runes and you want to take the extra points, you might want to take the extra points in the defensive mastery that gives you bonus movement speed if you dodge. I don't have dodge runes. If I did, I would probably be running them with Sivir, but I don't. So in any case, I'm going to be running mono regen yellows instead for this game. Sivir's probably the skill that you see the most often is Sivir's Q skill. It's called Boomerang Blade. This is when she throws out a blade long distance in front of her. And right there you see Bristol speeding me up, and I'll explain why that's happening in a minute. Her E skill is, or excuse me, her W skill is called Ricochet. It's a skill that you toggle on or off, and when you do, her Boomerang Blade, her auto attack bounces between targets. It can bounce between one target at first rank and then increases to up to 5 targets as you put more points in it. Her E skill is an interesting one called Spell Shield, which I'll talk a little bit more later on, but basically it functions similarly to a Banshee's Veil. It will block a negative spellcast when you turn it on, but it only lasts for 3 seconds, so you have to be pretty good with the timing. But if you are good with it, then you can block just about any negative spellcast. And then finally her ultimate is called On the Hunt, and it gives her bonus attack speed, and it also gives her bonus movement speed as well. So it can be very useful just for chasing, even in situations where you don't need the extra attack speed. The attack speed itself is very useful though, particularly as you level it up. When you hit 3 points in her ultimate, it goes up to, I think it's 90% bonus attack speed. So obviously that's quite a bit. So anyway, that's Sivir. In terms of sort of Sivir's role on the team, Sivir has almost no utility whatsoever. Sivir is just pure damage, like nothing but damage. She does no stuns, no slows, but her damage output is really enormous, especially in team fights. When you turn on her ultimate and then turn on Ricochet to get her boomerang blades bouncing from one target to the next. So that's Sivir. She's useful in a lot of respects, but again, she doesn't bring a lot of utility, so you have to be very focused on damage, and you have to stay alive to do that. Now, what is going on with this matchup? Well, right now you can see I'm laning against Ashe, and Bristol's, I guess knowing that he was going to be laning against me, has chosen to go boots first with Ashe. That is, instead of taking a Doran's item or anything like that, he's just started with the initial boots and then some extra health pots. What that does is it gives him a huge advantage over me here in the lane. He has extra movement speed, so Bristol's moves faster than me. He also has additional range. Ashe's auto attack range is further than Sivir's auto attack range. So that combined with the fact that Ashe has her Frost Arrow to slow means that Bristol's can really just stand just outside range of my auto attack and really beat me up. using his frost arrows to keep kiting me back and forth and back and forth. So you probably noticed that earlier. I mean, he's really been dominating this lane. He's been beating me up pretty badly. Anytime I get close, Bristles is just going to shoot me with the Ashe arrow, and you can see I've been sort of rattled a little bit. Yeah, you can, if you go back and pause that screen, you can see he's out farming me by quite a bit right now. And so you can see I'm missing a lot of auto attacks. You can see I'm late on all these minion hits, so I'm actually doing very poorly thus far. I've been able to get experience because I've been able to stay close enough to get experience, but I haven't been able to get very many last hits. So I'm just getting dominated in this lane right now. Now the one mistake I would say that Bristol's made there was he came forward to try to harass me and back me off the minions, but in so doing, he actually lost a lot of potential minion kills to his tower. And like right here, Bristol's is backing me off, and like see right there, I turned on Sivir's spell shield, but because I was expecting Bristles to volley me, but he didn't actually, so it didn't do anything. And like right there, I had to flash to get out of that. Otherwise, I just would have died like right there. So you can see that when I was pushed forward and advanced there, I just really got beat up pretty badly there. So anyway, I'm going to go back to base early on. This lane's not going well. I'm going to go back and buy boots immediately so that I at least am the same speed as Bristol's Ashe, so I can keep up with him a little bit. And I'm going to pick up a couple health potions. I probably should have bought even more health potions. Yeah, you can see right there, I have 13 minion kills, and I believe that Bristol's has 25, so he's outdoing me 2-1 right now in the lane. And you can see he pushed up to my tower there. So the tower is going to eat a lot of these minions. I'm not going to get experience or gold for a whole bunch of them there. So right now I'm being outplayed pretty significantly, and I'm just sort of trying to hang on for dear life here. I'm having to use Sivir's boomerang blade to farm here. That's what you saw me doing there. But the only good thing so far is that I have managed to avoid getting killed. And there I'm going to put the health potion in slot 2, which is where I usually like to keep my potion. Should have done that earlier. But yeah, every time I come forward, I'm really in a lot of danger because Bristles can start slowing me with his frost arrows and then just start, kiting the living daylights out of me if he plays it correctly. So yeah, it's been tough for me to get these last hits, and I'm not doing a great job thus far. So yeah, and like that's a very poor boomerang blade. It hits nothing and wastes a lot of mana. So oh well. Like I want to last hit these minions, but you can see Bristles is backing me off every time, and so I'm actually missing a lot of them. Anyway, so that sort of raises the question of what to do when you just have a bad matchup in the lane like this. Like see here, once again, Bristles is kiting me, and he backs me off the minions yet again. So what do you do when you've got either a bad matchup in the lane or you're clearly losing the lane? What sort of things can you do just to try to survive as best you can when you have either an unfavorable matchup like this one or just a situation where you're struggling and you've gotten behind and you're trying to do the best you can? Well, a couple of things to keep in mind. One is to try to play as defensively as possible. If there's nothing wrong with staying back by your tower, if you can't face the enemy out in the lane, then don't go out and face in the lane. Stay back by your tower as much as possible. Now, I don't have to do that as much here as Sivir because of Sivir's boomerang blade gives me a lot of range. I mean, her normal auto attack has short range, but the boomerang blade can hit people a long way away. So that's one reason why I'm willing to come out here. Secondly, if you are struggling early on in the lane, then don't be afraid to go back early and buy stuff to help you out. You can make an early investment in different things that will help keep you alive, help allow you to survive the lane. So for instance, I've already gone back to pick up health pot and boots. That was a really good time to go back to buy. Well, I mean, I had no choice actually in that case because I had taken so much damage. But what I probably should have done was and here we are sort of laning back and forth. What I probably should have done was push minions up to Bristol's tower and then go back for an early buy. I think there was a point in time when I could have done that, or maybe not. Oh, okay, here comes Seirun's Mundo, and I'm going to spell shield his cleaver. And I knew he was going to toss the cleaver at me, so I was just waiting for him to toss it, and then I was going to spell shield. When you do land a spell shield successfully, you not only block the negative spell effect that's coming after you, but you actually get some mana back too. And makes it so that was pretty useful. I actually came out ahead in that particular thing. I actually got some mana for free. And here I'm using Ricochet to hit these minions. Just toggled it on for a brief moment there. Anyway, another thing about playing Sivir is what you want to do is ideally when you toss Sivir's boomerang blade, her Q skill, you can hit both on the toss out and on the return toss back. So you want to try to hit twice. Now here, Seirun was in our jungle and we spotted him. I take a very poor angle. I should have circled around the other side of the wraiths. If I had come around that little path there by the lantern that you see there, we probably could have gotten a kill. So I took a poor angle there. If I had done a better job, we probably could have gotten that kill there because we saw that he was in our jungle. But anyways, as I was saying a moment ago, you can hit twice with our boomerang blade. Once on the when you toss it out, and then again on the toss back, and it will do a lot of damage if you do that because it will apply your attack damage each time, along with a little extra damage. So ideally, is you want to hit someone at close to the max range of boomerang blade, so that they'll basically get hit twice, like in immediate succession. And they'll end up taking a ton of damage as a result. So anyway, I'm still being outplayed in the lane, but now that we've gotten some more levels and my boomerang blade's been leveled up, I'm hanging in there a little better. You might have also noticed that last minion there, I used shift click in order to get the minion. This is something that you can do. If you shift click, oh, there we go. See there, I'm using Ricochet pretty well. And now that I've pushed the minion wave up to Bristol's tower, I'm going to recall and go back to buy. Little thing about shift click, it's very useful or very helpful when you're playing certain ranged carries. What happens when you shift click is your champion will attack. If there's something in range to attack, your champion will basically auto attack it. That is, you don't have to click on it in order to attack. So that can be useful in some situations. The key disadvantage is it automatically picks a target. So if there's a champion near you and a minion near you, you might find yourself hitting the minion when you shift click. So it's not always the most useful thing, but it can be helpful in a lot of situations if you don't have time to, say, physically move the mouse cursor onto what you want to attack. Also useful sometimes for chasing. You can just shift click in the direction that you're running, and when you get into attack range, you'll automatically attack if you're trying to chase down a champion. Or if you're trying to kite someone backwards, like let's say someone's chasing you and you're Ashe and you have your frost arrows turned on, you can be shift clicking backwards, and as your champion runs backwards, in trying to get away, you'll be attacking them too whenever your attack is up. So anyway, it does have some uses. I'm trying to play around with it. Was able to get some minion kills with it in this game, but it also caused me to miss minion kills as well. So anyway, just something I'm trying to experiment with, play around a little bit. It's much more useful on ranged carries than it is on, say, mage or support or tank champions. Okay, anyway, when I went back to buy there, I picked up 3 more health pots and I picked up 2 Doran's Blades. Now, when you invest in Doran's Blades, they're essentially an early game investment. They're not going to build into anything, but they are very helpful early on in the lane. You can see I'm still losing here. I think I have 54 minion kills. Bristol's has about a little bit more than 65, so he's about 10 ahead of me. But when you're in trouble in a lane like this, buying those early Doran's Blades can really help you survive. So that's what I've done. I've made a pretty big early game investment here by picking up the 3 Doran's Blades and then also the health pots. So thus, even though Bristol's is stronger than me, that's allowing me to stay in the lane. And like right there, that's a double hit on Boomerang Blade. You can see how much damage that did. So now I've actually managed to do... that was one time where I actually hit on my Boomerang Blade and did really well. And notice that I'm getting nearly all the minion kills here. This is one great advantage of Sivir. She's really good at farming. You can just toss your Boomerang Blade and then turn on Ricochet, and you'll get almost all the minions. Like that time I actually missed a couple of them, but I got nearly all of them. And like right here, I can harass Bristol's at the tower by using my Boomerang Blade. I'm going to force him to miss some of those minions. The only downside is, and like right here, I turned on my spell shield, and that was way too early. I was expecting an Ashe arrow there. So that was a misplay, but I turned it on because I was expecting to get volleyed or get hit by Bristol's crystal arrow. One thing that was a little strange about this matchup is Bristol's didn't use his Ashe ultimate, his crystal arrow on me. I was expecting him to use it. In fact, I was specifically waiting for it on spell shield a couple times, but he didn't do it. And there, Cole came up from the bottom lane and ganked the middle lane, ruined prison with Rise, and then that was an easy kill with me getting the assist. So that was a pretty big help there. In terms of minion kills, I have 65. Bristol says 76, so he's still ahead of me, but he's not ahead of me by as much as he was earlier on. Let's see here. I didn't have enough for a BF sword, so I decided I would buy no magic mantle going towards Merc Treads later on, so I did want to pick up something. I didn't want a 4th Doran's Blade. I thought 3 was probably enough, maybe a little bit too many. So more health pots and then building towards the future boots that I'm going to get. So that's what I picked up there. I haven't been talking very much about what's been going on in the other lanes. That's deliberate. I've really been trying to concentrate in this video specifically on this laning matchup, Sivir and Ashe, just because they're both very common champions that you're going to see often. Ashe has the advantage in this matchup due to her superior auto attack range and also her ability to slow with the frost arrows. So if you're going to be, if you would find yourself in this situation playing as Sivir, what you want to do is just try to farm as best you can with Boomerang Blade and with Ricochet. Just try to survive basically the early levels, and just try to stay in the lane as best you can, because this is not a matchup that favors you. If you can get help from your teammates, get help with pulling stuff like what you saw with Cole there, help with them. People coming into the lane helping you get kills. Like right there, you saw Bristol's was kiting me backwards. He has a BF sword right now, and I don't. My 3 Dorn's blades give me a lot more lifesteal. Like Bristol's doesn't have any lifesteal, but because he has that BF sword, I don't want to go toe-to-toe with him. I'm pretty sure that if we just stood there and both attacked each other, that I would lose that matchup. So that's why you see me not doing that. I mean, Sivir does a lot of damage, but I think that Bristol's has too much of an item advantage right now. Anyway, I am doing a pretty good job of pushing on this tower, I think. You can see it's taken a good amount of damage, and thanks to my Boomerang Blade, I was able to stop Bristol's from getting a few more minion kills there. Let's see, now it's 79 to 84, so you can see I'm catching up. I'm getting a lot closer because I'm getting more of these minion kills. Bristol's is losing a lot of them to the tower, whereas, of course, I'm just doing the Sivir farm thing with Boomerang Blade and Ricochet, and let's see, I guess that wasn't close enough to get a Ricochet, and maybe I didn't turn it on there. So anyway, I'm able to get most of the minions on that wave. I'm trying to save up again for a BF sword. I need, I guess, what is it, about 300 more gold to get it. It's 350 because it's 1850. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep laning. So we've been, none of the towers have gone down thus far, I think. Bottom lane towers gone down thus far. So the laning phase is going on a little bit longer than usual here because no one's been pushing down towers too much here. So anyway, and that's a pretty poor Boomerang Blade because I don't get any minion kills, nor do I hit Bristol's with it. Now I again just need a little bit more gold. I would like to go back right now because I'm out of mana, but don't feel that I can because I'd like to save up enough money so that I can, as I said before, buy that BF sword and start building towards one of Sivir's actual core items. Right there, I was expecting Bristol's to either arrow me or volley, and he just didn't. So I was waiting for the spell shield, but never came, and now I'm out of mana, so don't have enough mana to go back and do it anyway. And let's see, now I'm going to head back and buy because, let's see, looks like the lane's been pushed. Another mistake, one other mistake I made, I thought when I went back to buy that a BF sword cost 1,800 gold. It actually costs 1,850. So again, you see the fact that I don't play range carries here that much, and so now I'm trying to figure out, do I wait for the extra 30 gold? Do I head back to the lane now? Just trying to make up my mind here. Couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and while I'm trying to make up my mind, Bristol's gets a kill on Ashe's Nunu in the middle lane. So that wasn't the greatest result. So I was like, okay, now I need to go back to the lane. But then I looked, I was like, well, now I'm only 5 gold away. So go back to the base and pick up the BF sword finally. So hooray for deliberating back and forth and not being able to make up your mind. Anyway, there's been a lot of kills in the other lanes. Well, maybe not a lot, but there have been some kills in the other lanes. You can see we're ahead 5-3, and we do have one tower up on them. I think that Atlas has been winning that top lane. Yeah, Atlas looks like he's ahead in the top lane against mostly harmless. I think it was mostly harmless Morgana up there. Not 100% sure. And the real advantage for us in this game is our bottom lane has been very dominant. You can see Cole is getting yet another kill on Termit's Annie there. So yeah, a dominant Ryze game. I mean, who would have thought that? You never see Ryze doing much of anything. But Cole's Ryze was actually really strong in this game for whatever reason, and the fact that bottom has just been so dominant is why we're in a good position right here. Anyway, once again, standard thing there, just trying to push the minions up to the tower, and here we saw Sirun's Mundo once again was in our jungle, so I try to cut him off, but again, I take a poor angle. I should have just gone up the river to try to cut him off, and then I I don't know if I could have gotten a kill, but I might have been able to. At least there I'm able to spell shield that cleaver yet again, so get some mana back again. One downside to spell shield though is it is on a long cooldown, so I think it's on about an 18-second cooldown. Over here, our team is going for a dragon fight, so you see I think it's because bottom had pushed back that lane so far. We're going to go after that. Now here, we catch Bristol's and Seirun out of position. Bristol's is able to back off, but Seirun's Mundo has been cornered by 4 of us, so we're going to go after him. And Uberfish, I think, kills him with a Cho'Gath Feast. The new ult, I guess, was not necessary, but hey, better safe than sorry, right? So we're able to secure that kill and secure a dragon, so that helps us out. I plucked my ult there. I guess it didn't really need it, but it's also on a relatively short cooldown as far as ultimates go. It's only on a cooldown of about, I guess, 80 or 90 seconds. Now here, Roland's Nasus is going to gank me. I'm going to Spell Shield, and then when Termith comes in, I'm going to Flash, then I'm going to use Ghost, and then thus, even though 3 people are coming after me here in middle lane, I'm going to be able to escape this. So yeah, that's the power of Spell Shield plus Ghost plus Flash. You can get out of quite a bit when you do that. And because they were all focusing on me, actually, Ashe was able to get out of there too. He was also in a dangerous position, but was able to get out of there with no trouble. So yeah, Ghost Flash. That's why you take Ghost Flash on ranged carries, so that they give you that extra escapability in order to be able to get out of there. Okay, anyway, now that I have a little extra gold, I'm going to go towards Merc Treads. I'm able to finish them off. And then I'm going to pick up a Vampiric Scepter because I'm going to build Bloodthirster as my first main item for Sivir. Now, why build Bloodthirster? Well, for Sivir, Bloodthirster tends to synergize very well with her. Sivir gets a ton of minion kills because it's just so easy to farm with her Boomerang Blade and with her Ricochet. So it's very easy to charge up her Bloodthirster. So even if you are getting killed fairly often, it's still, you only need to get 1 minion wave to charge it back up to like half strength again. So for her, it works pretty well. You certainly don't need to go Bloodthirster on her, but it generally seems to work pretty well. So like right now, if I had my Bloodthirster, I'd be getting quite a bit of extra damage and lifesteal from all this. So anyway, between my Doran's Blades and that Vampiric Scepter, I have quite a bit of lifesteal right now. And you saw how easily I was able to push back that minion wave. I also, of course, have a leveling advantage because I've been in the solo mid lane for so long. Cole actually has the most kills. I think he has like 4 or 5 kills already. Anyway, there's a fight going on in top lane. Cole is going to circle around and go after Termith's Annie here down in bottom lane. The reason why he can do this is because the bottom lane tower has been taken out. I actually didn't realize that we had taken out the bottom lane tower, so I thought that Termith was going to escape. Wasn't really paying attention earlier when that tower was taken out. So now we're going to catch up to Termith and finish him off there. And Cole actually gets the kill again, and I get another assist. So in any case, yeah, that was all set up by Cole. That wasn't me. He's the one who circled around and was able to set that up. I just was able to get in there and help with the assist at the end. Now, since we're over here, we're going to grab blue for Cole's Rise. Obviously, I'm much more useful on his champ than on mine. And I realized when I tossed that Boomerang Blade, I thought, uh-oh, I'm going to end up killing this thing on the when it comes back. But fortunately, that didn't happen. Unfortunately, I was able to survive there. Okay, so here we're going to try to circle around and come in behind Roland because you could see he was pushed forward pretty far here. Again, not the best angle to take. It would have been better to circle around to the top more so he didn't have vision on us coming in. As it was, he was able to see us a long way ahead of time, and so Roland was able to escape out of there. I believe he did burn his ghost, but he was able to escape pretty easily. And right now, you can see how easy it is to farm some of these minions with Sivir's Boomerang Blade yet again. So just toss the Boomerang Blade and all the creeps are going to die. Another reason why Sivir is relatively newcomer friendly champion. You don't need to have a lot of skill to be able to farm with Sivir, but at the same time, Sivir is also really good even in high level games if she gets a lot of farm. And frankly, it's very difficult to stop Sivir from farming. Alright, looks like right now we're gathering up in the middle lane. More of a team fight situation here. I'm going to get in a double hit with Boomerang Blade on Bristol, so that's some pretty good harass. We would fight them here in a team fight right now, except for one thing. I'm entirely out of mana, so I'm not going to be able to use pretty much any skills, and that's not too useful. So instead, I'm going to back here. I'm going to finish my Bloodthirster and get a refill on my mana, and then we'll look to try and fight the other team. So anyway, let's head back there now. let's see, you're going to pick up Bloodthirster, and at this point I wasn't sure what my next item was going to be. Probably something, I was thinking something that adds some kind of extra attack speed maybe. There are a number of different options you can take on Sivir. You can look towards Stark's Fervor, which generally works pretty well on her. You can look for something like Black Cleaver, now that it adds attack speed and as well as attack damage. So plenty of different options here, different things you can build into. You could also go for Madrid's Bloodrazor if the other team is very tanky. Their team is somewhat tanky. I'm not sure if I would say that they're very tanky. Anyway, the team is engaging here. I actually didn't want them to engage until I got there, but so they engaged a little bit early, but I'm going to pop my ultimate on the hunt. I'm staying in the back where the enemy team isn't targeting me, and then I'm just continuing to chuck boomerang blades. Didn't get any kills there. Now here I'm going to go after Termith, and I'm diving him at the tower. So I do get that kill, but then the tower is going to finish me off, and that was actually a pretty bad play by me. Although I did get the kill on Termith's Ashe, there was really no reason for me to die there. I should have been able to get out of that. Even diving the tower, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten out of that just by using Ghost Flash. You can see I didn't use any summoner, so that was a little silly. But we take 2 deaths and we kill 4 members of their team, so we exchange 2 for 4. Good result for us. We come out ahead. And I pick up, let's see, I think I pick up 3 assists and a kill in that particular fight. So let's see, I was looking at what to buy next. I was, you can see me here considering different items. I have, let's see, 950 gold. I want to buy something, and I decided to go for Emblem of Valor. Health regen, more lifesteal. I'm building a ton of lifesteal, probably too much lifesteal to be perfectly honest. You don't want to build too much lifesteal. It's great in one-on-one fights. It's generally not as good in team fights. But anyway, that's what I picked up. You can see Cole is 811 with Rise. I'm still not exactly sure how that happened, but he just got ahead and then started snowballing from there, especially since Rise is one of the worst mage champs in the game. But I guess, anyone can be dominant if they get some farm and get some early kills. Now, their team was going for a dragon over here, so we are coming over to challenge them. We can see that there's several of them over here. They've taken some damage. Now they do claim that dragon, but now they're caught out of position. I'm going to pop my ultimate to get extra attack damage and attack speed. And now we're chasing their team. You can see how much damage they've taken. We need someone to get off some kind of a stun. My boomerang blade's going to get rolling, and whoop, there goes Annie. There she comes back down. Did you see that? I'll highlight that I might do another short video to highlight that. But yeah, Annie gets popped up like 1,000 feet into the sky by Cho'Gath's Rupture. That's a bug in the game. So anyway, we pick up another kill. They did get dragon, but we pick up a kill, and then we were going to push bottom lane, but the other team decides to surrender, which was, again, very surprising since, they had I think they'd only lost 3 towers, and they, no one had taken an inhibitor, no one had taken Baron. So in any case, early surrender yet again. I guess I don't quite understand why when we do these practice games to try to get better, why someone would surrender so quickly. But in any case, the reason why I did this video was not so much to talk about the full game. If you might have noticed, I wasn't really talking about what was going on in side lanes, but I wanted to highlight that matchup between Sivir and Ashe. Ashe does have the advantage. I thought that Bristol played it pretty well. I thought the one thing he could have done was try to use his ultimate on me. I think if he had used his crystal arrow on me, that he probably could have gotten a kill at some points. I was trying to save my spell shield, specifically to block one of those arrows if it came in, but it just never did. I think that we went even in the lane between the two of us. I mean, you can see I ended up with a little bit more minion kills. Bristol's ended up with more kills overall. I mean, I got the kill on him in lane, but that wasn't me per se doing that. That was him. That was the fact that Cole came in and was able to drop a rune prison on him. So I think we went even. Ultimately, we win the game. Well, our group won the game because our bottom lane just really dominated the other team's bottom lane. So anyway, interesting matchup. You're going to see Sivir versus Ashe a lot. So if you're going to play either champion, you want to know how to play it. If you're Ashe, you want to get that extra movement speed. You want to be able to kite using your frost arrows. If you're Sivir, you want to try to farm using your boomerang blade. Hang in there until you can level it up, that sort of thing. So hopefully this was useful in showing how you can sort of hold in the lane if you have an unfavorable matchup. Don't be afraid to buy some items that are geared towards early game. Anyway, I did this video in 1 part. If you guys like that, let me know. If you'd rather have me break them up into 2 parts for a video like that, let me know as well. And again, if you enjoyed these videos, feel free to comment, upvote them, let other people know about them. I'm going to try to get some more subscribers just because I think that the quality of these videos is a little bit higher than a lot of what you see on YouTube. And maybe there are more people who would benefit from seeing them. Anyway, so again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video.